Yeah. Shadow Poison does very well against TB in lane as well, right? Like, if you go for that pos 4 Shadow Demon, it can be kind of hard for the Terrorblade to survive if you do get that 5 stack Shadow Poison going. Just a lot of burst damage once you do get it off. GXR, they get the Clockwork pickup now, fair enough. Shadow Demon pretty easy to catch for this clock. There is some decent value here for the Clockwork. Army Geniuses, I'm still thinking they could go for the Conquer. I mean, I know you said they might just run the DK mid and give Wommy something else in the offlane, but it just looks more and more appealing as time goes on, like into the TB as well. So much magic damage, so much control.
Yeah, it still lines up, and
No. Whoa,
they
whoa,
go with
whoa.
the whoa. This is great. Like Pugna into Terrorblade. That's gonna force an early BKB to be built up on In Your Dream, just to not have to deal with a constant decrep coming out, and it gives Army Geniuses insane push. They've got DK Dragon form. They've got the Nether Blast coming true. It's gonna be pretty annoying for GXR to kind of hold those lanes. Like once levels are up, the Pugna's just going to look to shove in. AG, it's shaping up to be a very fast draft from them, and GXR, they can kind of play fast with a Puck, with a Clock, with the Ench. The Terrorblade can kind of join in after a couple of items as well. When Metamorphosis is up, you'd rather not against the Pugna. And I think the Pugna just gives you all of the answers to the Terrorblade. We don't tend to see the Pugna nowadays as a counter pick, but it is a really strong counter pick against that.
Yep. Final banouts though. I'm very curious to see how this draft's gonna work. It's a lot of push, right? Like with this Pugna with the DK, it feels like one of those kind of those lineups that you run into a Smurf party or something, and they just choose Pugna DK and just run you down, and 15 minutes later they're knocking on your high ground. You just can't do anything about it. I'm curious to see where they end. Like, what's the chances? It sounds bad, and it probably is bad, but what's the chances they go for that Lycan carry?
It's not too bad. I honestly don't think it's too bad. Like your hold on GXR isn't amazing to lock in the Lycan. I guess Pock is there, so Dream Coil's your one big concern, but it does allow you to play quick. It reminds me of Lilgun. The way you build it up is really Echo Saber, and just go
Yeah.
for fighting. It fits the tempo of AG. I don't think it's too bad. I think another wacky thing they could do is maybe DK safe lane for DB, Pugna mid for Mamang Daya, something else off lane for Wami to give them team fight. That could be one way to kind of flex it around here as well for AG. I mean, we have seen pause 1 DKs. It's still a fairly quick tempo. You don't want to sit around and farm. You just want to hit 6, melt the tower, change lane, melt tower there, and kind of go there. GXR, I find it interesting that they're always forced to last ban Husker. They just... No one's comfy giving that opportunity to AG, and you saw it. If they get these wacky heroes, they'll always take them. They actually go with the Luna.
Wow.
Into Terrorblade.
Okay.
They've got Shadow Demon. So
True.
they've got the Luna cloning here. And it's just a matter of how fast DB and In Your Dream can farm, who gets more map space out. I think AG has the lineup that does play really quick on objectives, and I think GXR is going to hold off on that really hard.
Final pickup here for GXR. They need a Mizu here on the offlane. They have some decent team fight with their Puck, but it kind of feels like maybe they need a bit more. It just feels very all in on Terrorblade right now, right? Like it's like In Your Dream, we're gonna create all the space in the world. We just want you to just farm up and do your thing on this hero, this Terrorblade that you tend to play very well. But what's the last pick? Like, what's gonna be that front line for this TB?
You've got the option for more, as that was left unbanned.
Right.
You could kind of break the coil with a spear or just play with...
Oh.
Okay. They go with the DP instead, so that gives them some push here on GXR's part. They can look to take these team fights a little bit better. The silence is really good against the heroes on AG's side, and they can kind of look for their own pace. They've got a decent pace coming out with that offlane, very sustainable offlane as well. Good amount of heals for the DP, along with the Enchantress down the line. AG, I don't know if that's going to scare them off, though. Like, this pace they have with the DK, with a Pugna is still really fast. Even the Luna, once it gets a couple of items up, I think DB is going to be willing to join in rather than farm and just play that faster tempo. So the key thing for GXR is buy time for In Your Dream to farm up and get that Terrorblade big.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the GXR draft is really worse than AG. I look at AG's draft and I'm just wondering how this is gonna work. Which is kind of, you know, last game, I guess I had more faith because they had that Mamang Daya Darkseer that we've seen before, but this time around it does look a lot weirder in terms of draft. I'm very curious to see how they do try to make this one work. I know they've got a lot of damage to take care of in your dream, and that may be just the game plan. Is just chase the man down around the map and just don't let him farm. Just see if it works, though. If they can do it again.
Yeah. I think I'd lean towards AG's draft. I just really like Pugna into Terrorblade. It's just always annoying for that Terrorblade to have to deal with. Wami is going to take that offlane Pugna as well. So they're just going to keep the DK mid. And you have to deal with the Nether Blast early on. Sure, Metamorphosis level 1, you can kind of just thwack away at Pugna, force him back. But once Decrep's up and running, Terrorblade doesn't feel great. You're just constantly shoved away from the creep wave. You can't get the hits off. And your wave is always shoved in because of Nether Blast. So I think AG's got that pacing to keep IYD in check even from laning. And GXR is going to have to work extra hard to get as much as possible in this early game. Mamang Daya. Atomic DP. These guys play too much of that game.
I don't even know what the game's about yet. I don't know what you do yet. It's, I guess I've got to try it very, very soon. Maybe after this game, although it is quite late, I must admit. 11:45, my goodness.
Time flies by fast.
Yeah.
You're having fun. DB. They're actually having a casual conversation about their freaking atomic warrior. Jeez, guys. I don't need all Iron 5. Come on.
Yeah. It's good to, this is what you love about Pro Series. I think I said it earlier today, but it seems like every team just treats it like the game's just for, like, it's for money, obviously, right? But it's about having fun too. No hard feelings, basically.
Pizza party soon. UK. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just feels like this is a tournament where people are just much more happy to be loose. Yeah. And I love seeing it. You know, like in lobby, there's always a lot of chat when things aren't too serious. Yeah. And you get a lot of that all chat in game. Great to see the personalities of players come out.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. We'll start off with the bot lane, shall we? UK, POS 5 Nyx Assassin, DB going to be there on that POS 1 Luna. Of course, Jokam going to be on the POS 4 Clockwork. And you're going to have Mizu on that offlane Death Prophet. Now, John, it's been a while since we've seen this. But it's the TB Death Prophet meta again from GXR. We've gone back a couple years.
Oh, God. Right. I remember having to cast that literally every other game at some point. And to be fair, this lane for Mizu doesn't feel too bad. You've got a good range advantage over the Luna. You've got wave clear, whereas the Luna does not. And the support partner for DB is melee. So that means Jokam can just run him down. We saw that with the battery assault. You have to be careful without Spirit Siphon up, knowing that the Cripple Swarm is there. UK and DB can kind of look for the setup. Like Lucent Beam to set up for the Impale is pretty strong. And it's still a Nyx. It has a lot of regen, so you can just stand forward and take the hits.
Oh, Impale out, Mizu. He doesn't have that Spirit Siphon. They might just keep chasing him down. And this is what AG do to people. They just start running you down, even at level 1. Luckily, Jokam's going to be there to cut them off. But now Jokam could be in danger. Creep's just everywhere. They don't know where they're going. They're just being pulled all across. But now there's going to be like a triple creep wave coming the way of DB. And I say triple. It's more like a double, but it's coming down towards AG, and that's going to be a lot of experience and gold that DB is going to be able to soak up along with UK.
Yeah, and they can't really stop it. They are still going for the battery assault. DB is going low, but he's willing to actually cop the hits. I love that AG is just willing to do that, and they get the double impale to hold back. So EXP should flow in, and this lane should stabilize for DB. But as the levels go up, once Spirit Siphon's ready, Mizu should be able to sustain. And still, going to be a bit tricky under the tower. Just have to kind of juggle those creeps around well.
We'll have a look at the other lanes as well. Of course, mid lane, you've got Alacrity there on his puck against Mamang Daya on the mid DK. Mamang Daya, I'm pretty sure he's going to have no problems in this laning phase. We've seen this puck versus DK matchup many, many times, and it's just an even trading lane. No one really dies unless they completely overextend. I imagine it should be the same this time around.
Yeah, it's going to be a very static lane full of farm. The puck does have the advantage in jumping forward for the water runes, maybe sniping a bounty rune off of the DK as well. But DK is not a very bottle-reliant hero, so again, just going to be stable. Level 6 is where it gets spicy. That's when Alacrity can look for a side lane rotation, and Mamangdaya can look to shove mid. Just going to have to wait until those big ults are up. Gives us a chance to look at the top lane, where you do have Wami on that off lane Pugna. He's around with LYM on the Shadow Demon. They are laning up against In Your Dream's Terrorblade and Paulson on the Enchantress. They are making it hard for In Your Dream to actually just farm. He's at 6-1. Wami's at 8-6. They have managed to just zone him out with a decrep up, man. That magic damage is painful. Now, there is an early magic stick from In Your Dream, so you can heal up quite nicely. But you have to watch the Pugna Shadow Demon lane. If you can get good amounts of Shadow Poison on with the decrep and with Nether Blast, that Terrorblade's good as dead.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, In Your Dream, he's not able to CS properly, right? Because every time he walks in, you can just decrepify him. Every time. He just, what are you going to do? You can't hit anything. Paulson, he's going to try and get LYM out of the lane, but that's really not the problem. I'll deal with Wami as well, and I think Paulson's just going to have to be working overtime to try and get these guys out of here. Otherwise, In Your Dream, he's going to be so far behind in CS.
Yeah, you just have to try to stabilize the Terrorblade lane.
UK.
They're trying to dive bomb.
Yeah, onto the Nyx Assassin, UK. He's going to be alright. DB, going to be kind of frontlining for him, and let's make sure he does remain just safe and fine. It looks like no first blood's going to be drawn across the map quite yet. Everyone just kind of happy with the way the game's going. It's like Wami was forced back to the fountain, so he will have to make the walk of shame up, and that is going to mean that In Your Dream is going to be able to catch up quite nicely now on the Terrorblade. Even pops the Metamorphosis. I believe that was what probably forced Wami out of the laning phase. But this is going to buy a lot of time that In Your Dream really needs, because he is quite far behind. But it is nicely catching up now.
Yeah, it's worthwhile use of that spell. Of course, while he holds that lane solo, Paulson just clears out camps by himself. Oh.
Yeah, here they go again. Disruptions there. Wami, he'll have another Nether Blast coming up, and they've blocked him. They body block him. Oh, that is perfect. And LYM, he gets a tip from In Your Dream. What are you going to do? The guy body blocks you with such beauty. You have to tip him.
You gotta love that old school Warcraft free block.
Yeah.
Always nice to get that done. And, well, Paulson left left his Terrorblade alone, so that's what you get. You need to be there to throw your body forward. That's going to set back In Your Dream even more. And he's lagging behind in farm. He loses some gold. He's not going to be feeling good in this lane, and it's just the Pugna. You can't stop the Pugna from just constantly harassing out the TB.
Yeah, Paulson now could be in danger as well. Wami,
here we go again.
And yeah, they're trying to block. They won't get it off. They needed the tree, but it won't matter. It won't matter. Paulson making the walk of shame himself now on the Enchantress. And there you go. This off-lane Pugna already working wonders for AG.
You're just getting everything they could ask for. At the least for GXR, they're building up stacks on the bottom camp. So they've got one jungle access point. You do hit the level 6 spikes from Mamangdaya and Alacrity, and that's when you see AG just group up mid. They want that tower fast. They've got a lot of time on that dragon form. They've got the siege creep, but not much of a creep wave left.
No. No chip away at it. Impale not going to really connect onto Joe Cam. All the heroes in the mid lane. Mamangdaya looks like he wants to get a few more cheeky hits in if he can. Even Wami's going to show up now. Just everyone. A bit of a party in the mid lane. It won't last for long though. Wami backed his way up top. Suppose he thought maybe he could contribute with the Nether Blast, but the Seed Trip going down kind of ruins all that. And he may as well go back to abusing In Your Dream on the Terrorblade. Here we go. Decrepify. Oh, he life drained the illusion. Oh no, Wami, a bit of a misclick. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to try and go after UK, and they've got him. Cryptsworn will be enough from Mizu. DB's going to remain fine, but this bot lane has gone decently for GXR. Mizu, he's actually keeping up with CS quite nicely. DB looks to be kind of in the same boat as In Your Dream. In fact, they've got the same CS.
Yeah, it's a good bounce back for IYD. He's gotten some stacks in the jungle. is the point where the Terrorblade can just play in that area.
Paulson.
That should open up the push here, though.
I think Paulson's dead, John. Life drain. Yeah. Oh, no, he's not dead yet, but the Shadow Poison. That'll be enough. Meanwhile, bottom lane, UK's going to be in trouble. I know there's a Dream Coil up top as well. Alacrity's trying to get Wommy. He's not going to be able to get him. Back down to the bot lane where DB and UK both end up dying. And Alacrity is still chasing. LYM, he's going to get caught. Nice setup there from Alacrity. 3 heroes across the map end up dropping for AG.
Yeah, big kills for GXR. Finally getting punishment off on that Luna. DB, he's still TPing down bot. Like, he's still alone here. It's a risky spot for him to be in.
Oh, it certainly is. He's getting dives right now. He's not level 6 either, so no Eclipse, and yeah, he's dead. TPs are there, but DB, he's going to have to make his own walk of shame. There's LYM, he shows up. I don't think he can find a trade. JoeCam, he just TPs right in front of him, right in front of the tier 1. He's just out of there. Mizu, yeah, he's well and truly gone. You're not going to be able to catch up to him now. The GXR, just a couple mistakes and... Excuse me, not GXR, rather AG. A couple mistakes being made and... It's going to give a lot of space over that they worked hard to get. Like, in your dream, he's 3rd in net worth. I don't think he should be there. But he is.
No. And he's died once in lane. He still gets all the space in the jungle. AG, in comparison, don't have him any stacks. They are chasing out Paulson at least.
That they are. Raindrops were up, which did help a little bit, but not quite enough. LYN and Wommy still a real nuisance here with this combination of heroes. One of those games where you kind of expect to get those hoods up, at least a casual cloak when you're up against this Pugna. Plenty of raindrops to come as well.
Yeah, you just got to mitigate that early burst coming out here on AG's side. They're still keeping that pressure bot. Mizu, he is all alone. If they manage to somehow catch him out here, that could be big.
Yeah, they're moving in. Mizu, life drain is there. He's going to try and back, but he's on the wrong side of the map for himself. UK's even going to TP just in case they need it, but they don't. Wommy's got it under control. And that should be the bot tier 1 tower. Staying alive, at least for now, because Mizu can't finish it off. They might even be able to secure the other bot tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's the power of Pugna. You can just get the Nether Blast off. Eventually the tower falls. I'm surprised AG has not really committed to a lane to push yet. And they did take the mid tier 1 eventually. But we're not seeing the top or bot lanes being completely shoved in. I think they need to start chipping away at the map. Because In Your Dream is still farming like a madman. And his Terrorblade already has the Power Treads Dragonlance. That's when the jungle farm really just stabilizes for this hero. And GXR are comfy enough to start smoking up now.
Absolutely, UK. Spot this out. Rocket Flare going to give the vision. JoeCam has the hook shot, but is not going to go for it. They just don't want to dive the tier 1 top tower yet. They'll leave it be. Alacrity. It's going to back out. Even with the haste rune, he just couldn't quite find a target to go on. Army Geniuses, they're going to be able to just kind of sit back, relax, and secure some more farm up. But you look at DB in comparison to In Your Dream, there's a big net worth gap of 1.2k right now. It's definitely some very bad news for DB.
Not the kind of start you want in that Luna. He is being given some space now to help clear out in the jungle. Ancient stacks, Mamangai just tanking through for DB. So that's going to be a decent gold injection. They get the jump up top. Paulson.
Paulson, he's having a very tough time. He's got the casual cloak queued up, and he's going to need it. Even then, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to survive, quite frankly. It's just so much magic damage. It almost feels unfair. Hook shot.
LYM.
Yeah, he gets called out. JoeCam with a very nice hook shot out. Mizu. In fact, Alacrity will be the one to take the kill. All things being said and done, I don't know if AG are doing quite enough with this draft to make it as effective as they would have intended.
Nah, the push does feel a bit slower. They lose their bot tier 1, and finding the mid was big. They're just not using that space for it just yet. Maybe with this blink up and Mamang Daya, they can look to take some engagements now, start forcing some fights out, buying some space for that big Luna to keep farming up. You manage to eventually chip away at the tier 1 up top, so they can start setting up for the aggressive wards in this top jungle. Look at GXR though, they're willing to fight their smoke.
I mean, why the hell not? Mixes them up. Wami, that'd be a great target to start on instead. They might just go into UK, but no, they want the Pugna. They want their revenge. He'll try to TP, but the Dream Coil is there from Alacrity, and they will punish Wami. And with that Exorcism, they might still have time to try and rotate into the mid-tier 1 tower. It's halfway through, and it looks like they're not going to be able to get that much damage off onto it. In fact, they're not even going to bother. They won't even bother trying. They'll just leave it be.
Yeah. Oh, Alacrity.
Trouble. Impel though? No. Phase shift is there. They didn't get the Spire Carapace to get things started, and UK not happy about that. I think they could have probably just secured the kill with just the Impel Dragon Tail, but he wanted to get a bit greedier with the Vendetta Strike, and obviously it doesn't work out for him. And Jokam, hookshot, hits the neutral camp. They could still try to go onto this SD, but it looks like they'll just kind of go against that and get a D-ward off and just run.
Yeah, I mean, this game is still holding steady at a 1k lead for GXR. Still the smoke play here.
Yep.
AG.
Well, Alacrity might break this smoke. He's got to be careful not to get caught out, though. Wami might run right into him. Smoke broken. They get the Dragon Tail. Very, very nice pick off there for Army Geniuses. They're gonna make it a 7-7 now in this game too. Problem still stands though, and your dream is farming freely, and again, that's never really a great thing.
No. He's about to finish up the SNY. Gonna be a big spike for him. DB's looking to catch out Paulson.
Yes, he's indeed. Paulson. I mean, they're gonna get the vision. Disruption. Oh, he's gonna get it. LYM, he just didn't give up. Paulson. Oh, it's a tough game for Paulson. What do you say about the poor guy? He's 0-5-1 now. It's just been such a disgusting game for an Enchantress.
He's buying space. Wami?
Yep, they're gonna find Wami. And he breaks the leash. In your dream, he gets him with the illusion.
Pretty awkward. I think Wami's starting to give a little bit too much on the Pugna away towards GXR. GXR just finding the punishment. 8-8. Less than 1k lead. Bouncing between both sides. It's kind of interesting how Mamang Dai is the one keeping up farm with In Your Dream. Like this DK is going to ramp into that BKB relatively soon. Whereas, again, In Your Dream is going for the SNY build, which is standard. No early BKB means the decrep is still going to be an issue in the middle of the fights. They just haven't had those fights against the Terrorblade yet. I think the one issue right now for AG as well is you probably need to finish up that Aether Lens on Wami to really feel comfy with a spell spam, with positioning the Nether Ward as well. And without that item, he is a bit more forward than I think you'd be comfy with on the Pugna. Still GXR, they've got the hook ready on Jokam.
Yeah, Wami gonna try and run Alacrity. No Dream Coil up. In fact, he has to be very careful now. Alacrity purged up. It's like he's gonna be just fine though. They aren't gonna try and make the jump in. UK, he's making his way over, but he was a few seconds off the Vendetta, and instead they're gonna go into the mid lane where they have found the Enchantress Paulson. Just can't catch a break. Top lane, LYM, he does get caught in the end though, so Wami could still be in a spot of danger. Alacrity gonna try and figure out where this guy's gone and is gonna run right into him. You've got the Dream Coil up, but Alacrity, he's been blocked off. The Nether Ward's blocked him off.
Yeah, good positioning there. Oh.
Nope, they're still going though. UK, it's gonna die. So that they still find a Nyx Assassin anyway. Won't really matter.
Yeah, it's just a support kill, so it doesn't feel as bad for AG. AG needs to respect the vision game here on GXR. They have been pretty on point with all these sentries to watch those usual rotation spots on the Nyx. And again, just protect that Terrorblade. In Your Dream, level 14, SNY up. He's got a ton of farm flying through. He could just go for the BKB next, and I think you'd be pretty set. You don't worry about the Pugna. The entire counter pick just doesn't feel great once that's up. And you don't really have a way of managing the Terrorblade. You picked Luna into TB. Your Luna's not that farmed yet. Still lagging by about 1k behind that Terrorblade overall. Still needs a lot of catching up and just not getting enough space out. They are still giving more room towards Mamang Daya. BKB still not done. So he doesn't have the item to really show up and control these fights yet. And I think as long as this holds steady, GXR feels great. Like, the push isn't insane from AG. The team fights aren't insane as well. And they're already starting to get some of those earlier BKBs Mizu has done. So the DP is very protected in the middle of these fights. Can just stand, get the Spirit Siphons off, and get the Exorcism off full duration.
Yeah, I mean, we're Army Geniuses, they had like a ticking time bomb kind of draft last game. This game, it's kind of the other way around. Like, GXR, they are going to be a massive problem in about 5 to 10 minutes. And they're going to jump in. Joe Cam, an immediate hook shot out, has caught the DK. He may lose his life here, and he does. They get the clockwork, but now Alacrity is going to move in. Going right in onto Mamang Daya. The life drain's trying to help him out. Mamang Daya actually surviving as Alacrity. He needs to back off, but in your dreams here now. He's got a double kill already. Mamang Daya will be the triple. Wami immediately going to TP up. And meanwhile, Paulison is just securing bounty runes as Mizu does also die to LYM.
Yeah, it's the least Paulson can do. I don't think he wants to show up to these fights. The heal could be helpful, but he gets resources for his team. AG, a bit of an awkward fight. I believe that was a blink into the clockwork while the hook was coming out.
Yeah.
So they kind of break the clockwork initiation, but they also don't get the Dragon Tail stun they were looking for. And they don't manage to set up for that team fight in the right way. 4K lead for GXR off the back of that fight. In Your Dream now massive. 12K net worth, 4K above the next hero in Mamang Daya and DB from AG side. And he is just going to go Scotty. He doesn't feel like Wami's been a threat at all, which is fair. Like, in lane, Wami was highly effective. Now, his impact feels negligible. It's just not the kind of zoning tool you want on the Terrorblade just yet. Feels like he does need a lot more farm. He is going for the Glimmer Cape next to protect himself. I think we're going to have to see the Ags is really the big spike for a Pugna. He doesn't have space to really farm that heavily, though.
GXR, I mean, more than happy to just keep this game going. In Your Dream, he's just about to outright buy an Ivskadi up. Gets 2 ultimate orbs straight off the bat with 5k worth of gold. Just needs a couple hundred more to have the point booster. What they got? Coils out. They got UK. Spy Carapace not going to help him here as the orb does fly right through for Alacrity. 11 to 4 now. 4k net worth lead. I'm looking back at DB on this Luna. It's really hard to imagine him being able to beat In Your Dream right now in these team fights. No matter how far he goes with this build up.
Yeah, it's just too slow. Like, you'd expect Luna to really get much more, but GXR has done a great job of slowing that farm up. They've kind of forced AG to just focus on the triangle stacks. They don't have control in the bot lane all too much. And GXR just gonna keep smoking up. Dream Coil's half a minute away, but the hook shot's ready. They can just pick someone off again.
Yeah, LYM. Hook shot, yeah, right on target. Alacrity was there first anyway, and well, now they're gonna go straight into that mid-tier 1 tower. It looks like they're even going to go straight for a Roshan. They won't even commit to the tier 1. They just leave the illusions to do the job. And the illusions are actually doing a very nice job. They force the glyph out. And with the siege creep, it's not going to take too long. They'll try to quickly rush the Roshan down. And that should be the first Aegis of the game going the way of In Your Dream. No meta necessary. You might lose your Exorcism, but honestly, I don't really think GXR needs Exorcism at this point. I mean, they could wait the 2 minutes, though.
They already got the tower. They don't need to force that team fight. They can just keep building up. Maybe hit that level 20 spike on IYD for either Fist Talents. More stats is always good in the Terrorblade. Or just wait for the Crystallis, not even the full Daedalus. Get the Crystallis up on your Terrorblade. His damage output skyrockets. You cannot compare on AG side. They played it too slow. Like, Mamang Daya had the blink. They never found the blink ganks they needed on that DK while it was early on. And now they're just kind of struggling to get map space out. They're playing as 4. They're trying to play on the opposite side of where DB's farming up. They're not finding the scout potential from UK's Nyx. The sentry game from GXR has been on point to protect. And they're playing at 7k deficit with a Pugna. Like, you expect them to be taking that early lead with towers, with a gold. They're just not able to. Like, all they've killed is really Paulson for the past 10 minutes.
In your dream has been caught out alone. Maybe they can try to burst him down and get rid of this Aegis. He's still alive and has the Sunder up. In fact, he doesn't even use it. He just walks away. Hookshot. Oh, right on target. They found the Pugna. Wommy. So he's set to fall. Alacrity got LYM. Alacrity has gone way too deep, though, has ended up killing himself. But they do get a 2-for-1 trade. Joe Cam, he'll get a tip there from Wommy. And in your dream, I mean, he pops nothing. He's perfectly fine. Looks like he pops Sunder after the fact. He has the meta up now. Doesn't really need it for the tier 2 bottom tower, but we'll probably just hold out, maybe for the next team fight.
Yeah. They can just easily melt these objectives. AG's not in position to defend or shove out in any other lane. And they're just going to have to give it up. They do spot Mizu out, though, but they don't commit.
No, they certainly don't. There's a spy carapace there from UK that'll give them the information that there is a Nyx assassin around. GXR, they're just going to take... I mean, this is very surgical from GXR, isn't it, John? They're just taking the outpost. There's not much to say about it. Everything's just going well for them. And AG, they're kind of stuck hoping that DB can keep up and farm and contest them. Maybe you could kind of rely on Mamang Daya as well once he has the Ags up. Though again, against In Your Dreams Terrorblade, when he's this far ahead, it's so hard to see it. And now they have a DD rune on Alacrity as well. We'll see what they can pull off. It's just tough.
I'm just surprised they haven't really played around with Luna illusions, say with the disruption, group up on a tower, push that way. We didn't really see that come out. Now the BKBs are flying out and more heroes on GXR. Alacrity has one flying in. The Pugnus impact is just severely limited. They don't have control through the BKBs outside of Demonic Purge. That's only going to be going on to 1 hero, though, at the time. No Ags for LYM, so you don't have those multi-charges. And GXR just control the map. They take the top tier 1. They can look for the tier 2s now. They can start playing around. Age is still up for a minute and a half. Just play clean. AG, they're just kind of forced to keep trying to build up. Scotty's almost done on DB. In fact, it should be done. Just needs to buy out the point booster. That's going to leave him with no buyback, but he does need to item up to have presence. And he does finally pick it up. So he has more stats. He's got a good slow healing reduction, but their high ground's going to be siege now.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Tier 3 tower under siege again. Mamang Daya is going to jump in for a Dragon Tail stun. You haven't even popped the meta yet. This is the worst part, is they're going to get the tier 3 tower and no meta is necessary. UK though, they jump in on Alacrity, they burst down the puck, and now you might not want to force the fight. They will also kill off Joe Cam. BKB just came out, or is rather coming out on the courier. But in your dream, he needs some time for that. Mizu, he'll also leave, and looks like he should be alright. They have left behind Polison, but he's going to be able to TP away. So in the end, they lose 2. They do get the tier 3 tower. They hold on to the meta, though. Perhaps, maybe it would have been smarter they used the meta. I'm not 100% sure. But in your dream, he had the BKB on the courier. It wasn't with him, and I guess that's why he held out.
Yeah, just playing safe. Aegis expires now, so it's time for GXR to play it a bit safe, wait for the respawns before forcing any issue. It's more time to build into the Daedalus for In Your Dream. And he's just riding comfortably at the top of the net worth charts right now. 3k above DB's Luna, which is not the worst gap we've seen, but significant enough for the Luna to feel like it's behind. Again, the Luna's a hero that feels like it does need a slight item advantage to really have that big spike on hand. And AG aren't really able to use that defense to take an objective. Like, they're not clumped around for the top tier 2, not in position for the mid tier 2 either. Outpost does get taken back by GXR, and They just keep clearing out the map, keep choking out AG, cut off their farm sources, not give them opportunities to find single target pickoffs. They are starting to play around with the Luna illusions just a bit, so they can get that done. But the counterplay is there from Paulson. He can just enchant an illusion and use it himself to farm up.
Yeah. I mean, the illusions do tend to be, you know, they're all right. I honestly just prefer a creep myself. It's one of those things. So, we'll see what they get done. I mean, a 4k net worth lead, it's not looking too bad for Army Geniuses after that last team fight. In your dream, though, he's going to have a Daedalus up. He's queued up a Satanic. He's queued up an Aghanim Scepter. He's going very late game. Hook shot. Top lane, UK's going to be caught out. Jokem has a BKB. He has the Bullwhip to slow him down. And UK, he is going down. He does have buyback.
Where are you going?
And Jokem gives him the tip over. I mean, why the hell not?
Yeah. I saw a little battle of the illusions there down mid. Always nice to see. The war of illusions turning against each other.
Yep.
It's pretty painful for AG. Like, they can still hold on, but you have to be careful about putting DB up front. They are kind of just latching onto that mid tier 2. The Ags is finally up here on Mamang Daya, so he's got the Black Dragon form ready to go. And that might be where the team fights turn around. Just having that additional damage flying out here could help the cause. Again, it's just been super passive. I think AG just... they take the backseat with this draft when it's supposed to be run a little bit faster. And that just means that you're forcing late game against Terrorblade with Luna. And it's just not a great feeling either way. The Daedalus for In Your Dream is almost done. He's kind of playing the inventory juggle right now.
Wami.
Once that's up, I don't know what you do about that damage.
Oh, hook shots there from Jokem. Cogs pushback. They've got the shivers. They've got the detection. Can he TP? He actually cancels it himself. It's like, no, I'm not going to make it. I'll just cancel it on my own. Could have been the battery assault as well. Either way. He wasn't making it out.
No. He is also going for the Dagon build-up, so it's all about just deleting heroes with decrep, going all in. I mean, that is one way to turn it around, because the Terrorblade did... well, he has a BKB, but once the BKB fades, maybe you can burst down In Your Dream. He does have the Daedalus up, so if you don't burst him, he's going to burst you very quickly. As GXR, they're just going to line up for the racks now. Like, can they still hold on to Metamorphosis this entire time? And In Your Dream finally pops it for the push.
Yep. This time around, no risking. I mean, when you look at a meta TB, you know you don't really want to fight into that. He's hitting for about 500 damage as Mamang Daya is going to jump in. Could be very dangerous for him as the reflection's out. And look at the damage output from In Your Dream. Now the Dream Coil's there to set up. They just blow up LYM. They do decrepify the Luna at least, so DB has a bit of time, but not for long. As In Your Dream's in an ultra kill. Make it a rampage in just a second, John. He'll go for a Fountain Dive for this one, and we'll get the rampage going. We might have a double rampage. In Your Dream, are you going to give up? He will get out of the fountain. He'll get asunder. Dagon's there to Polison. Poor old Polison. He just still can't get away. But that's what happens when you give In Your Dream Terrorblade, John. He just does Terrorblade things. And then onto the tier 4. He's not going to waste his time. They haven't got buybacks. He's going for tier 4 towers. He's had enough of this game.
Know. Yeah, they know they're so far ahead. AG, they just don't have the defensive hold. They need to play this draft quicker. They're still going to hold out. They're not calling it yet.
Oh, they know. They know it's over. Now, how are you going to defend? They'll just sit there thinking about it.
Yeah,
there you go. There's the GG World Play call. Good series, though. I mean, AG Game 1, a pretty brilliant draft. Love to see it. Game 2, GXR come back and get a 1-to-1 series.
Yeah, it's great back and forth between both teams. AG, they run another interesting draft in Game 2. And they go with the Pugna counter pick for the Terrorblade. Doesn't pan out. I mean, in lane, it was good. They never really applied the pressure we expected this lineup to do. I think they played it too slow. They had the blink timing lineup for Mamang Daya. They couldn't really use that in a big way. And Galaxy Racer just hold out, funnel all the farm into In Your Dream, and he just delivers. Every single time you allow In Your Dream to keep farming up, he will make use of that space. And they made great space on GXR side. Like Paulson dying 7 times. It looks funny, but
Yeah.
it did achieve that objective. Like he was the one copying the blink stuns. He was the one copying all the smoke ganks. Didn't matter because In Your Dream was farming, and that was all GXR wanted. Get their win condition big.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely was a pretty fun series between these two. But in this game too, in the end, Galaxy Racer Esports proving to be a little bit too dominant with the draft they did have. With that, John, that is actually going to be it for tonight. 4 series down. Very, very long day, but it was a very fun day. A lot of hype series on. Of course, we won't be back tomorrow. We're going to be taking a couple days off. I believe Aries and Black are going to be making their debut appearance in the Loopet Pro Series Season 7, so it should be a lot of fun with them. Hopefully, John and I will get to tune in and join in chatters. I believe we have seen Aries roaming around, having a bit of fun with the viewers in the chat. So, maybe we'll return the favor. Still, for tonight, it is MLP and John xfire, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you all again after 2 days.